What's good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're coming at you with the January 2024 post-Banlist Jowls of Dark Demise deck profile. Now, if you don't know Jowls of Dark Demise, he's quite the card. A flip monster. Take control of one of your opponent's monsters until the end of that turn, and that monster can attack directly. So, obviously, the point of the deck is to try and keep that Jowls, get him out on the field, get into their monster if they have something big, and use it against them. And then obviously, get rid of that monster, link into it, or whatever you have to do to get rid of it. And using cards like Terrors of the Hidden City to, keep them protected and, possibly search them out out of the, or bring them back into the graveyard, not search them out, sorry. And, get them off again. So we'll start off with the monsters, of course. We have 3 Jowls of Dark Demise. You're going to need 3 of them. You know what he does already. Second, we got 3 Tindangle Angel. Now these are, the Tindangles is part of the deck. And the other half is going to be the kind of crawler World Legacy stuff. So, we got the Tindangle Angel. You can flip, special summon 1 monster from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position except Tindangle Angel. Then if it's your opponent's battle phase, end the battle phase. So he can, he's good. He's almost like a little battle fader to end that battle phase. Plus, you can bring something out from your hand or graveyard. So you can recycle, or you can just get something lined up for the next turn. Moving on, we got 3 Tindangle Jarelith. Once again, some more Tindangle stuff. Flip, you can take 1 monster from your deck, except Tindangle Jarelith, and either add it to your hand or send it to your graveyard. If this card is in your hand, you can discard 1 other card and send 1 Tindangle card from your deck to the graveyard, except Tindangle Jarelith. And if you do, special summon him in face down defense position. So, a good way to get him out. Decent little support, and he can help to get that Jowls into your hand or whatever other cards you may need. Next, we got 3 Crawler Soma. Now, this is real important for the deck. So you can target 1 face-up monster you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change that target to face-down defense position. Also, it cannot change its battle position for the rest of the turn. And during your main phase, you can reduce this card's level by 2 or 4, and if you do, special summon crawler monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard, whose total levels equal the reduced amount in face-up or face-down defense position. And you can only use 1 Crawler Soma effect, or 1 Crawler Soma effect per turn. You can only use the effect of Crawler Soma once per turn, sorry. That was just a butchering. But Crawler Soma, good stuff for if you just need to get him out to start off some big plays. You can just summon a flip monster, get that flip monster down, and then use him to go into other crawler monsters that you may need for stuff. And you can bring them face up to go into plays, or have them face down if you want to save their effect for something. So the Crawler Soma is great for pretty much all the flip monsters, and it's great for just going into bigger plays. Next, we got 2 Morphing Jar, and you could run this at 3. The Morphing Jar is actually pretty good. You never know what kind of plays it's going to get you out of. Shuffle all monsters into the field, into the deck. Then each player excavates cards from the top of their deck until they excavate the same number of monsters they shuffled into the main deck. Special summon all the excavated level or 4 lower monsters in face down defense position and send the remaining cards to the graveyard. So you can do some real funky stuff especially if they don't have a lot of stuff to summon that's that low. So you might just get a bunch of their cards in the graveyard, clear their field. Who knows? Morphing Jar can be pretty good. I was playing on Master Duel and beat an Exodia deck when he almost had me just with the dirty Morphing Jar plays. You could tell it broke his soul a little bit. Next, we got 1 Crawler Galil, and it's good to just have different crawlers because they all do have the effect to, if they're destroyed because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 2 crawler monsters with different names from your deck and face down defense position. So it is good to just have a couple different ones. This is, Crawler Galil, but he can special summon 1 crawler monster from your hand or graveyard when he's flipped face up, in face up attack or face down defense position. So he is good, just recycle power. a little good thing to have. Next, we got the Crawler Receptor. You can add one Crawler monster from your deck to your hand. And, you know, the same effect that he can, if he's destroyed by a card effect, he can get 2 Crawler monsters out from the deck. But, you know, with the flip effect, you know, you can search if you need one of the specific Crawler monsters or a Soma. He's a good way to get a Soma into hand. Next, we got the Crawler Spine. And all these can be traded out. There are different couple Crawler monsters. These are just the kind of different ones that I think are useful. And I feel it is good to have a different couple just to get these effects off more often than not. But this one, you can target one monster on the field and destroy that monster. And the same thing, you can search two Crawler monsters and special summon them from the deck. Crawler Axon, same thing as the Spine, but just for spell and traps. So you can get these recycled a lot with the different effects once they go to the graveyard, and just keep popping off traps or monsters or whatever you need to do. Next, we get a Marshmallow. Possibly thinking of trading some of this stuff out as well. It's all a formula being worked on, you know. And then a, you know, Kaiju. Just, you know, just to get some hand trappy kind of, well, not hand trappy, but, you know, some Tribidi power out there. Next, we'll move on to the spells. We got 3 Terrors of the Hidden City. Now, this is just a great card. You know, they can't target defense position monsters with card effects that are face down. And then, you know, the cards that you control that were flip face up gain 1,500 attack and defense. And if it leaves the field, you can get a flip monster from your graveyard. Well, you could target any monster, but, you know, you're usually going for those flip monsters to get them face down. Next, we got 3 Book of Moon. Classic stuff, you know, target one face-up monster. This you can use on your flip monsters if you need to recycle them. You can use it on opponent's stuff. And if you're comboing off, you can, if you have the Jowls and this, and say some Terrors of the Hidden City, 1 or more, what you can do is Book of Moon their monster. When it gets around to your turn, use the Jowls to take it. That way it's flip face down, and when you flip it face up, say if it's a high attack monster, it's going to get the boosts from Terrors of the Hidden City because you can get multiple boosts. So if you got 1 or 2 of these and it's a 4,000 attack monster, you're going to be attacking with huge damage because it's going to get mad boosts from being flip face up because you set it down with Book of Moon. So there is bigger combo plays you can use the Book of Moon with to kind of hit off. But regardless, you can just recycle plays and use it for what you need. Next, we got 2 Naggle's Protection, and it is Tindangle monsters in your main monster zones cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. And once per turn, if your Tindangle monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, the battle damage is doubled. You can banish this card from your graveyard and discard 1 Tindangle card and add 1 Naggle's Protection from your deck to your hand. So that's why I figure it's good to run 2, because if the one is in the graveyard, you might be able to combo off into the next one just to get that double damage in, which is useful because they don't have a lot of attack, but with Terrors in the Hidden City, you might be able to boost them up. And then if you're going for straight direct damage, you know, you might be able to get those bigger hits off. Next, we got 2 Swords of Revealing Light. Obvious, you know, they can attack for 3 turns. This can be swapped out for whatever. It's just something I kind of have in there for now. You could throw in Wabakus in kind of replacement of this. I do run 3 Threatening Roar in the deck. The thing is with the Wabakus, they can still attack, but you can kind of use those sparingly and find out when you're going to use them, especially if you're running some of the other cards. Next, we got 1 Snatch Steal. Now, this just goes in with the kind of stealing of monsters with Jowls. And, of course, we got the cards to go off to link or do whatever with their monsters, so it's not that big of a deal that they're getting 1,000 points during each standby phase. But we do have the option of keeping their monster if need be. Next, we got 1 Change of Heart. Same thing as the Snatch Steal, except we don't get to keep it. But, you know, Change of Heart, effective for stealing their monster. Lastly, we threw in a Monster Born, you know, just to bring back a Jowls or whatever, a flip monster, and then possibly flip it back down. Or if it's something that we know it might leave the field from an effect, or you're maybe bringing back a Tindangle to get that double damage, who knows, you know. but it could be replaced with something. Next, we're moving into the traps. We got 3 World Legacy Pawns. Target 1 face-down monster you control, change it to face-up attack or defense, and then you can shuffle 1 crawler monster from your graveyard into the main deck and target 1 face-up monster you control and change it to face-down defense. So this is a great way to recycle those crawlers and to get your flip monsters going off when you need them. This way, you can, if you need to get Morphing Jar off on their turn at a specific time, you can. If you need to, on your turn, if this is already, you already have this activated from your previous turn, then you can flip monsters on your turn, so you can just set Jowls, or you could, normal summon Jowls, Crawler Soma, so he set World Legacy Pawn, so you flip them back up, steal their monster, or there's all kinds of weird plays you can do. But, the World Legacy Pawns goes in hard, and it can fit in with some other stuff. Next, we got 3 Threatening Roar. These are just to, slow down those turns and hopefully keep your flip monsters on the field. That way they can't attack them. Hopefully that'll keep them good, especially if you have, Terrors of the Hidden City. They can't do any card effects, and if they can't attack them, you're pretty much set. Lastly, we got a World Legacy Mind Meld and a Magic Cylinder. Magic Cylinder is pretty self-explanatory and might be switched out for a Mind Meld in the future. But when an opponent's monster activates its effect while you control a crawler monster, the activated effect becomes return 1 face-up monster your opponent controls to the hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 link monster on the field and special summon 1 crawler monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard to your zone the target points to in face-down defense position. So it can go real hard. I haven't really done too much testing with the World Legacy Mind Meld, but I do have 3 of them. So it is just something I'm working with. And the Magic Cylinder. Just, for pure damage or stopping an attack. But with the thing with World Legacy Mind Meld, you never know with the crawler monsters. You can do, obviously, a lot of recycling. And then you can get Crawler Soma back in hand, possibly, if you need to, or other crawler monsters to reset them. And then there's just the bringing the 1 in face-down defense, especially with some of the extra deck we're running. Speaking of, we'll move into that. The extra deck still isn't fully fledged out here, but we'll show you what we got. 3 X-Crawler Qualiarch, and he is 2 crawler monsters, link 2, and it's, if this face-up card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by card effect, you can target 2 crawler monsters with different names in your graveyard, special summon them. So he's just like all the other crawler monsters, except for it's also destroyed by battle instead of just by card effect. And then he has the bonus effect of these, depending on the number of crawlers you have, in your control. So 2+, all your monsters gain 300 in attack and defense. 4+, your opponent's card effects cannot be activated during the battle phase. And 6+, your monsters can attack directly. So if you can get 6 crawlers out there in total, you can attack directly with your crawlers. So, which isn't too difficult with all the recycling power they got going on. And Crawler Soma, he can bring out like 2, the receptors and Galeals are bringing out stuff from hand or graveyard. So there's a lot of different ways, plus just the link monsters themselves. So 3 of those. We have 2 X-Crawler Synapsis. This is 2 Earth monsters, link 2. Crawler monsters this card points to cannot be destroyed by battle and gain 300 attack and defense, and can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, 2 face-down crawler monsters. Same as the rest. Now, this is pretty much the same thing. X-Crawler Nero Ghosts, link 2. He has all the same effect, except it's 2 insect monsters instead of 2 earth. So it is just a little bit of different tech, just to go into it. All interchangeable, of course. Next, we got the Geonator Transverser. This is a great way to get rid of a used-up Jowls, or maybe a used-up Morphing Jar, something you don't really need necessarily. You just make sure you always have your useless stuff in the zone that it's going to be pointing to, if you know that, they already have an extra deck monster, or you're just trying to line up that play first turn. And it's this linked card, and monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, If this card points to 2 monsters, you can switch control of those monsters. So it's a great way to get rid of your smaller, useless cards that you've already used up, and then get them in graveyard, and you can maybe bring them back, especially if they're crawlers. And you're also switching for their monster, which just fits into the deck. And then, of course, things can't be destroyed by battle that it points to. By your opponent, or can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects that it points to, sorry. So you get the bonus of just whatever you have it pointing to can't be destroyed, and then if they're not paying attention, they summon something where it points to, bam, there you go. You get to take their monster, use your Jowls, take one of their other monsters, and then swap with that and take it, and then you got 2 of their monsters. Next, we got a Pit Knight early, 2 effect monsters. Link 2, when a monster this card points to activates its effect, except during the damage step, you can target one effect monster, your quick effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn and change its attack to 0, also negate its effects. During the end phase, if this card's in your graveyard because it was destroyed by battle or card effect and sent there this turn, you can special summon this card. So you can just keep bringing him back. Good little way to maybe extend Link plays. And he's just 2 effect monsters, so it is generic stuff to go into stuff with Jowls, or if I have Change of Heart or Snatch Stealed their monster. Next, we got Space Insulator, 2 monsters, Link 2. Monsters this card points to lose 800 attack and offense, and when a Cyburst monster, blah, blah, blah. Not really important. When this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card to your zone that a monster points to, but it can't. Wait, when this card is in the graveyard. Yeah. So yeah, Space Insulator. You can see, obviously, I had really read that one. We got the Barricade Board Blocker. This one's pretty important just for keeping cards on the field. 2 monsters with different names. Link 2, pretty generic. And if this card is Link Summon, you can discard 1 card, and during the end phase of that turn, add 1 continuous or field spell from your graveyard to your hand. So you can recycle those Terrors in the Underroot if they're, or Terrors of the Terrors in the Hidden City, or whatever it's called. Yeah, Terrors of the Hidden City. Getting it confused with Terrors of the Overroot, or whatever it's called. But, you can recycle those. You can keep them, protected while it's on the field. And same with, your Swords of Revealing Light and any other face-up spells you're going to be having. Lastly, we got Lib the World, Keyblade Master. 2 monsters, Link 2. Can only be summoned while you have a World Legacy card in your graveyard, and you can only use each of the following effects of World Legacy Lib the Keyblade Master once per turn. During your main phase, you can set 1 World Legacy spell/trap directly from your deck, but it cannot be activated while you have no World Legacy monsters in your graveyard. If this card is Link summoned and set to the graveyard as a Link material, you can shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. So it is just a, you can bring it out, it's got decent attack, and obviously you're going to have World Legacy Mind Meld, or maybe World Legacy, World Legacy Pawn, in the graveyard, so you'll be able to bring it out. And then possibly for some side deckage, or just for quick changes in the deck, to get that effect off. Plus, it's also just a useful card. We also have World Legacy World Armor. And when a monster is flip summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. If this card is normal summon/set on the field, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck and return both that monster and this card to the hand. So that's something I'm thinking about throwing in the deck. Got 3 copies of those, but do not know yet. Just working on the plays. But other than that, that's pretty much the deck. Like I said, there's still room for extra deck stuff. And, to work with the cards in the main deck. There's still a little bit of filler in there. So we're working around that to see what'll work with the deck and make it a bit better. I think there's 13, I believe, extra deck monsters, so there's room for 1 or 2, and they can be traded out. I can take out a couple of those crawler monsters and such. But if you think there's anything I'm missing from the deck, let me know. And like I said, if you have any ideas, or if you know any flip monster tech that I haven't really got into, let me know in the comments for sure. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell. And thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the other deck profiles. Peace.